greet our viewers and listeners that it is all well because God reigns. That's number one. Number two is that every Ugandan, every citizen, every good-willed human being should expect good as long as they point their minds on being positive. It is positivity that produces results. So us at the State House Investors Protection Unit, we are here to encourage and tell every investor that we are ready to serve at all times. We are ready to protect the investors from wrong elements. Our main work is to collaboratively coordinate with all ministries of government, agencies and departments of government, as well as the private sector, in particular, the Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, where all private businesses maybe collaborate or are merged together for a better business interaction or relationships. So we first of all want to thank all wealth creators that have reached out to us at the State House Investors Protection in the last 1 year, or from when His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces established the State House Investors Protection Unit. We were received with a lot of good hope, which we have maintained, because on a daily we see many investors at all levels, the small and medium enterprises leaders and private business persons. They reach out to us through our many helplines on phone, in emails, importantly on the Uganda's electronic investors protection portal, which His Excellency the President commissioned on the 13th of December 2023. So the investors protection, the electronic investors protection portal, call it EIPP by abbreviation, has really helped us to serve foreign investors, or call them even foreign direct investments in Uganda, as well as the domestic ones. Recently, and you must have heard that the Uganda's electronic investors protection portal again facilitated and I wouldn't say created, but it was facilitated and promoted by His Excellency the President, because he has always been promoting leveraging technology to eliminate human interaction that is exploited by wrong elements. You see, the corrupt use the physical interaction to solicit for bribes, to delay paperwork so that they are given again bribes or bring down people, by frustrate people until they pay them bribes. So the Uganda's electronic investors protection portal has made a big difference. When we entered or when we were lucky to participate in African Association of Public Administration and Management, APAM, that was hosted in Uganda between the 25th to 29th last month of November, we didn't know the impact that the Uganda Electronic Investors Protection Portal had on creating, on giving people or giving wealth creators at all levels good hope and bringing more FDIs, the foreign direct investments, in Uganda. So when we interacted with the panel of interviewers, because it was a competition of African IT initiatives, and the participants were from 69, the initiatives that participated in APAM, the African Association of Public and Public Administration Management, were 69 IT initiatives. And so when we were surprised that our Uganda's Electronic Investors Protection Portal was among the top 6 across from the 69 across African continent, we were encouraged. And little did we know that we would actually win the special award of EPAM. And Professor Tiferi of the University of Ethiopia, who was online during the final interviews on the 25th of November, is the one that gave us more inspirational news, that he did his research, but also the president of that panel that had 17 high-level academicians who are researchers. The chairman was Professor Kahuzia. They told us that they had done their personal research, and Professor Tifero said that he found out that Uganda's Electronic Investors Protection Portal has facilitated FDIs in this 1 year up to 80%, and that it had contributed so much in bringing in not just potential, able investors, or maybe rich people, to use a word that is simple. So we thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for guiding, protecting investors, and also facilitating the use of technology by elevating scientists and ensuring that technology takes lead in everything. So we are eliminating the corrupt, and that's the hope. We want to give all good-willed Ugandans that please have good hope. A lot is happening. Looking at the sports, so under the Ministry of Education, we have had so many, we call them what? These Olympic medals, gold medals. That's great news for our country. The world knows Uganda for having champions and we praise God for that and thank our leaders at that national level, the president, the minister of education, and other ministers that are doing well. In the Ministry of Health, we have had successful transplant. Was it kidney? But also, I think there was a successful, was it a heart surgery? So as a country, we have good news that is happening, but not known. So for us who are tasked with the responsibility of protecting and guiding investors to our country and to ensure that they don't suffer from wrong elements and the thieves, to be blatant, that we are meant to protect investors from unnecessary delays and also from fraud and corruption generally that frustrates investors. Our main work is to ensure that we continue to collaborate with all government ministries, departments, and agencies to ensure that there are no unnecessary delays in promoting investments, and that there are no extortion of any sort. So we don't investigate at State House Investors Protection Unit, but we work with anti-corruption agencies, and we are ensuring that the investors that are in our country and those that are coming are really given special attention to ensure that they are comfortable in our country. So the Electronic Investors Protection Portal has made a big difference because it is easily accessible online. Its link is protection.statehouseinvest.go.ug. The moment you type in that word, protection.statehouseinvest.go.ug, the portal comes in with a photo of His Excellency the President, and you click on the word services. There you'll find all key ministries, departments, and agencies that facilitate, promote, protect, and guide investors. They are all lined up on that portal. So we have achieved bringing up a portal or a system that brings together all ministries, not all of them, but the key in investment. So you'll find that the Ministry of Lands, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, where we have police, we have the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control, we have the key government agencies, Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda Registration Services Bureau, the NEMA, and all others are brought together on the portal, and a mere click on the word services, you can reach out, you get to their main sites, websites. So with the investing in Uganda, you click on it, as you will see on the portal for yourself, and which we will share with you, or you can again Google it yourself. You'll straight away, clicking on investing in Uganda, you go to the one-stop center of Uganda Investment Authority. Tax education and incentives, you go to the URA's website that is very, very efficient and quick to be attended to through online services. Uganda Registration Services, registering a business, you access the website of URSB, the Uganda Registration Services Bureau, and those sites are really, really effective and quick to offer the services, or to serve the people for that matter. So at the State House Investors Protection Unit, we are achieving the objective that His Excellency the President was aiming at by establishing the unit, because he wanted investors never to be frustrated by bureaucrats who delay them unnecessarily. So we have brought together the agencies of government, those that are supposed and those that promote, protect, and guide investors. They are together on the portal. So they access our portal, we access their sites, their websites, and we share information. And this portal, once the Uganda's Electronic Investors Protection Portal, when an investor logs in and there's a word inquiry, and they inquire about anything in less than 12 hours, we give them guidance on where to start, or those that would be asking where to start investing in Uganda, we guide them, whether it's investment authority, whether it's according to the sectors they want to invest in or they are investing in. So the portal provides guidance to all investors. It provides enforcement, because we coordinate, collaborate effectively or efficiently with the investigative bodies or agencies of government when any corruption has already happened. And the portal also gives quick feedback, timely feedback. We ensure that those investors that log in our portal are given feedback instantly. So we are achieving the objective of eliminating unnecessary delays, and also ensuring that the investors are guided, are supported, and are given good hope, good direction in how to invest and keep in Uganda happily without being frustrated. Of course, there are those we haven't reached out to, because we don't know, they haven't reported anything. But again, the portal, Uganda's Electronic Investors Protection Portal, has really provided solutions of doing due diligence. Many foreign investors especially do due diligence before they spend on flights, before they spend money to fly and ask. You see, one clear thing is that Uganda is still a growing economy. You don't expect our growing economy or developing country to have so many buses produced in a single year. The big achievement is that Chira Motors is Ugandan, is original Ugandan, and has produced buses that are on the road. That is the biggest achievement, because no one is going to claim that Uganda produces nothing in regard to transport. We have our own Ugandan-made vehicle, which the president called Kayora, and it is on the road, and Chira Motors is growing. It is growing. Soon we shall be seeing more buses on the road, but I can't tell when the many will come. What is to be celebrated is that we have our own made, Ugandan-made vehicles on the road. So again, it is our responsibility as Ugandans to first appreciate the good that is there, and then work together to expand to expand by promoting our country, and promote our country's achievements, because we have many. Honestly, I had spoken about a few. So we need to keep celebrating the achievements we have as we work hard to have more. So Chira Motors is growing. Soon, many other buses and vehicles will come out of Chira. But for now, we are still celebrating the ones we have as Chira grows further. So given that we are growing, it is enough to be celebrated. At least we don't have any factory that is closing, which is Ugandan, should I say developed, should I say. So whichever work that is being done in that in Chira Motors Limited is progressing. When they are producing many, I can't give the year, but I know that the time will come and we will see many. The good thing, we are seeing the ones on the road and we are celebrating them, and I'm appealing to all Ugandans to celebrate the achievements that we have and then work hard together to have more achievements. I think that one, first of all, we are supposed to understand whether the Chinatown items are of a higher standard than our local investors. Could it be the reason why our Ugandan, why us Ugandans are all running to Chinatown? Is it because the prices are so low? And if they are low, what could be the reason behind these people who may have brought their products from China? Why are they selling them cheaply? Of course, we've had those complaints here registered that the foreign investors are encroaching on micro trade businesses in Uganda, like to the extent of some foreign investors involving in hawking. That one we are handling, because that one now becomes a case of even security. Why should someone come all the way from China to do hawking in Uganda? It's not acceptable that a foreign national starts hawking in homes and families, carrying items that are also produced here in Uganda. That one we even held a meeting with the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control, and they have been investigating and arresting some of those lawbreakers depending on which work permit they acquired. There can't be a work permit for a foreigner to do hawking here. So when they come in the pretext of being investors and then they end up being hawkers, those are breaking the law and they are being arrested. Let people continue to report them. And now, when they have that China City, is it China City? Chinatown. It is hard to question, because if someone has established himself in a mall and then their products are cheaper than the ones in their neighborhood or in that downtown of ours in Kampala, you are not going to chase this person because he or she is already established in an organized and maybe higher standard environment and has the capacity to to export or bring in the country items that are cheap and sell to us Ugandans. So while there is a challenge of Ugandans business people failing to compete with these Chinese, I think for us now it is quite complicated to go against these Chinese that are in the Chinatown, which is a mall, because someone who has the potential to rent the mall or to build the mall and stock it, as long as they are paying taxes, because that's where now we have to point. Are they paying the taxes or according to the government of Uganda's requirement? If they are paying taxes, if they are employing people, but are they only Chinese in that Chinatown? Do we have some Ugandans there? You see, if they have also created some jobs for us, at least for those jobs that our Ugandans can do, which I'm sure Ugandans can do, that any Ugandan can do, the selling of items and what. So I think they are not in the category of those to be fought, as long as they are doing their business according to our laws. So I wouldn't sit here to say we are going to protect our businesses from these from the Chinatown, because Chinatown is established in an organized environment. And again, if they have employed our children, we want to celebrate that and say our Ugandans are benefiting from the cheap from the cheap services of the Chinese. If at all they are not exploiting our children by paying them peanuts as they earn more. Because we also have been looking into that, working together with the Ministry of Gender and Labor, and Culture, in the line of some factory owners employing Ugandans so cheaply without giving them any job security. That you come, you're not told how much you're going to earn, you're not given any protective gear. Those in factories, they are there breathing bad and maybe dangerous fumes. So those we have been working. That's how we are protecting our local Ugandans, our citizens, that the foreign investors shouldn't exploit our children by making them so vulnerable that they work and they are not paid. They work in hostile or dangerous environments and are not protected. So where it is still a challenge, the Ministry of Labor is working on it, because we are in collaboration with those ministries and departments that are responsible for that. So that's our protection of Ugandans from some foreign investors, but also from some other Ugandans that have those big investments and are not paying workers according to what they are doing or according to the services they are rendering. So they inquire and we guide. So by doing that, we are promoting investment without by reducing costs of investing in Uganda, which is which has been another big complaint, that the cost of doing business in Uganda is so high because of unnecessary delays, because of not knowing where to start from, where to find the leaders that support and protect and maybe facilitate the requirements of investing in Uganda. So Uganda's Electronic Investors Protection Portal online gives guidance without any cost. All services are, of course, free. And so we are giving people good hope that they don't have to spend for them to get information. We ensure that information that they need is given freely, timely, and effectively. Again, as head of Investors Protection Unit, we have had engagements with the Uganda Manufacturers Association, with the CACITA, the Kampala City Traders Association, with the FUTA, the Federation of Uganda Traders Association, with Mbasita, the Mbarara City Traders Association, with the Uganda Chamber of Commerce and Industry, with the Karangara Oil Growers Association, and they even have a trust, because we wanted to mobilize the local investors to understand their issues. And those leaders of those many, would I call them institutions or associations, they keep telling us what we think is perceived, because, and good enough, they have trusted us to keep engaging with them. So whenever there are complaints that the cost of doing business in Uganda is raising so high, we engage. We bring them together and find out that actually what has been missing, and I think it's being addressed, that they had our local or domestic investors hadn't understood the perceived many and high taxes. All that was needed, and which is being done now gladly, was sensitization about which tax is meant for what and how much is paid for what, again, in those taxes. So the leadership of Uganda Revenue Authority, I mean, the Commissioner General, URA, and his commissioners and his entire team at URA, they are out in the field, creating awareness about which taxes are for what, and how much tax is for what, and also talking about tax incentives, because there used to be a complaint that local investors are not given incentives much as the foreign investors have. And I think for me, who is not much knowledgeable in tax education, what I picked was that the main consideration is the capacity or the capacity of one's investments, the resources or the size of your capital. I think is what determines the incentives you'll get. How much you put in your business and for how long, and how much you show as your capacity, which is like security of your investment. I think it's where they best to determine the incentives. Again, it's about awareness. So we have engaged with these many local investors, generally the SMEs, small and medium enterprises, as well as again, WUMA, Uganda Manufacturers Association, who are big investors, domestic investors, and these other associations, like I have listed a few, and we are encouraging each other to ensure that we together understand what is paid for what, which tax is for what. The other complaint that our domestic investors have been having is about the high interest rates. Excuse me. The high interest rates on commercial loans, commercial bank loans. So that challenge, we have engaged, and we continue to engage with the leadership of Central Bank, the Bank of Uganda, together with the CEOs, MDs, and EDs of commercial banks, to request them to regulate or to soften the conditions and the regulations of giving out the commercial loans or the business loans, because if we lose out on these many businesses that are choking with loans, definitely our investment environment will have a big hole, and indeed we will lose some investors. to leave Uganda going out in our neighboring or other faraway countries. So we are engaging. I have noted with concern that indeed some investors have transferred their investments to our neighboring countries like Tanzania. Actually, many are identified to be going to Tanzania, but good enough, they are not going completely. They are leaving part of their investments in Uganda, and so we want to have a conducive environment where they will come back, not to take what has remained here. I know quite a number of them, but we have engaged with those that we have reached out to, and their complaints are being addressed by the government agencies that are supposed to, that have a duty to ensure that we don't lose out on the able investors. But thankfully, Uganda has been declared the best investment destination in Africa by was it Harvard? So we have that we have that achievement, that Uganda was declared, and I have forgotten which international institution that declared Uganda the best investment destination of this year 2024. So we have not lost. While we see some local investors going, but many others are coming up, both local and foreign. So there is good hope, this is good news, that we are not losing completely. The challenges are still there in the investment sector. I will not say that everything is okay, but whatever challenge that is there is being addressed. So let's have good hope and know that each one of us has a duty to do something to create wealth for ourselves, like the message of His Excellency the President is. That's why he's now traversing the country, looking at how PDM is performing, looking at how Imyoga is performing, looking at all these projects of wealth creation, starting at family level. What are we doing in our families to create wealth? Because investment is not about someone coming when they are already rich. It starts with us in our homes. What are we doing? So it's a responsibility of every Ugandan to create some wealth, to do something. And let's not underlook the little we are doing in our homes, whether you are digging a small garden where that it is not only for subsistence. The word of the President is not to work for a shida chonka. We must work for saving, and saving for the future, because again we are in the time of steady progress. So our work, as who have been tasked by the President, to ensure that there are no unnecessary delays, no extortion from the wealth creators. We are here to tell the public and to encourage everyone that it's a duty for all of us to protect wealth creators and become wealth creators ourselves, not extorting from anyone. Let us have the principle of the word of God, that God will bless the works of our hands. That is Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28, I think, verse 12, around there, that God will bless the works of your hands, meaning that you have to work for you to be blessed and earn wealth and protect it, so that we all become wealth creators and develop our country much greater, because we see Uganda going forward. We are not going backwards. We are going forward, and we are sorting out issues that are disturbing. That is the work of all of us that are either in government offices or in our communities. We are supposed to ensure that we create a good and conducive environment for anything that is invested, whether in land, whether in education, whether in health, whether in sports, is well protected, is well promoted, is well guarded and guided. The bad publicity that happened in the leadership, between the leaders of of Uganda Investment Authority and the political supervisors in that, yes, it brought so many questions in the minds of investors, local and foreign, but we kept guiding and saying this is about personalities, not about the institution itself. It is, you see, we must differentiate between personalities, the weaknesses of personalities or individuals from institutional systems. So the fights were between individual leaders. They were not for the institutional system. And while I don't want to speak so much in that line, because that's not my area of understanding who was fighting for what, ours we kept steadfast, telling all investors, please inquire from us where to go for what. We shall guide you. We shall walk the journey with you and ensure that you're not delayed by any government ministry, department or agency, including the Uganda Investment Authority. We kept ensuring that there were no delays because of individual weaknesses or quarrels. We were not diverted. So again, me as a soldier, I can't be diverted by whatever is being talked about or by whatever we see. My work is to ensure that I remain in my line of duty and do it well, create hope that has results. So when we see investors increasing in their coming to the FDI is increasing, we believe that those individual fights didn't affect Uganda's investment climate. They didn't. And I think now they are quiet and we are moving forward. Those challenges will always come. Humanity is like that. We all have moments when we don't agree, but we don't stop at that. We jump over and do the right thing, and then we celebrate the victories together. So actually, we are in constant touch with Uganda Revenue Authority because our local investors, it has been their challenge, and we are collaboratively working together with the Uganda Revenue Authority leadership, the Commissioner General, Mr. John Musinguzi-Rujoki. We are in constant touch with his commissioners, the Commissioner Customs, Commissioner Domestic Taxes, Commissioner Tax Investigations. We are in constant touch, and we see many domestic or local investors being handled well. I think the noise that used to be against, the noise that was always against URA is reducing because the Commissioner General and his team are engaging. And we are together with them. Those who come to us, we engage. We have had many meetings here where Commissioner General explains why their taxes that are levied on specific should I say items or businesses or properties and all that. So we are in constant touch, and we see many grievances being solved and harmoniously.